Hey guys, welcome to 4.3, the film industry, the history and impact of film. Essential bits of information about the film industry. Hollywood avoids risks and therefore sticks with proven formulas. So we have all these superhero movies because it's proven to be successful. You have all these sequels to these like Toy Story 4 or all these Saw movies because it's proven formula. It worked. It made money the first time. Let's try it again. Hollywood doesn't like to take risks because it loses money a lot of times if they do that. Right? Or it can be a big success and start a franchise, but they're less willing to do that. Nearly 80% of the films released in Hollywood are financial failures. Most movies fail. They make less money than they cost to produce. And blockbusters is how the major industries earn back that money. Blockbusters such as the Avengers Endgame, Toy Story 4, The Lion King, come out this summer. Those are all blockbuster movies that's going to make the studio money, a lot of profit, and that help recoup some of the loss from the lesser movies that come out like in January, February, and October when movie companies don't really make a whole lot of money off those movies. People just don't go. Movie ratings are arbitrary and done voluntarily, and we learn what behavior is accepted and normalized by watching movies. So, a little bit quote by Aubrey Hepburn here. Everything I learned from the movies. And more than any other medium, our film choices reveal a lot about our personalities. You know, what are your favorite movies? Put down in the comments below. Mine are, of course, Star Wars. The whole saga is amazing, but in particular, Empire Strikes Back is probably number one. Forrest Gump, one of the most amazing movies. Original Planet of the Apes, love it. And Perks of Being a Wallflower, great cast, great movie. So those are my top movies right there. And when I had a fifth one, probably like The Greatest Showman, or probably number five, ran out my top five of my favorite movies. What are your favorite movies? Timelines, different eras of movies. So we have silent film era, in 1895 to 1929, in the silent films where there's no sound coming out of the actual movie. It's all more physical stuff, like Charlie Chaplin. Uh, and then the music played by the orchestra or whatnot in the actual theater. The classical period, the 1930 to 1945, like Gone with the Wind. In post-war period, 46 to 59. Transitional period, 60 to 79. Contemporary period, 1980 to present. Those are your eras of different kind of movies, different timeline of different movie eras. Brief history of the film industry. 1888, there's our man Thomas Edison again. He's going to invent moving pictures with the kinetoscope. So he invents the recordable sound and moving pictures and light bulb. This guy, top notch inventor. Thomas Edison invents kinetoscope, and it's basically kind of like a big old machine you look into and you see pictures moving, kind of like a virtual reality today. Where you stick your phone in there and you can see virtual reality, Google Cardboard or Oculus Rift or something. And along that lines, in 1895, the Lumiere brothers, Auguste and Louise, developed a projection system as well as a special camera that could capture moving pictures. And thus the movie began. The first movie was the arrival of a train at La Ciotat. Ciotat. Yeah, I cannot pronounce it French. So the arrival of a train at this French train station. And the interesting thing about this, it freaked the people out so much that they thought the train was actually coming through the screen at them. They all ran to the back of the movie theater screaming because they'd never seen anything like that before on screen. This train moving towards you. So check that out in the description below. It's pretty neat. The very first movie ever created. And one of the most famous ever silent films during the silent film era, George Méliès, I'm sure I butchered the name as well, produces hundreds of silent films during this era. The most famous is A Trip to the Moon. Okay, most famous silent film. You've probably seen this picture here with the moon with the rocket in his eye. They go to the moon and they meet these aliens in the moon and they destroy them and come back safely home to the Earth. And so, Trip to the Moon. It's pretty interesting. Check on the link to the movie in the description. It's a really neat and entertaining movie. 1909, more than 10,000 Nickelodeons. For a small storefront theater, cost a nickel to get in, hence Nickelodeon. Okay, that's where the name Nickelodeon comes from the kids' TV station. and referred to as democracy theater because, well, cheap enough for everybody to afford. Whether you're rich or poor, you can put in a nickel and go enjoy a good movie. In 1920s, movie palaces were built across the nation. Organists played along the action of the screen of the silent movies. And I mentioned before Charlie Chaplin. He was one of the most pivotal stars in the silent film era. And there's a great movie here. Little scene of him in the eating machine shows his master of physical comedy that Charlie Chaplin was. He had to be because he couldn't talk on film because it wouldn't pick up any sound. So you had to be the master of physical comedy. And Charlie Chaplin was that. But I love the story of Charlie Chaplin when he actually went to a Charlie Chaplin lookalike contest and he did not win. Yeah, you heard that right. A lookalike contest to look like him, and he did not win. I found that a fascinating story of Charlie Chaplin. And he said television had tremendous effect on the film industry. Why go out when you can be entertained at home? Well, film industry decided to change stuff up and tackle different topics that are taboo for TV, such as adultery, war, and violence. Profit is more important than artistic creativity. The artsy films you see like at the film festivals, they don't really get wide releases because they don't make a lot of money. But movies like uh, Star Wars or the Avengers make a lot of money, so they're going to put them out regularly. So over 80% of the film produced in Hollywood are considered financial losses. They actually lose money. The films you go see or don't go see in like October and January and February where no one really goes to the movies, those movies lose a lot of money. And so they bank on the summertime movies, the Christmas time movies. If people are off work, people have more free time, family time. They're gonna go to the movies and beat the heat, beat the holiday rush, go to the movies. And that's when your blockbusters are out. Your Star Wars, your Avengers, your big Disney animated film they put out every year. That comes out summer or Christmas season. Film profits are driven by blockbusters, like I just mentioned. And blockbusters are more than just big budget movies. They're more about just the movie. Blockbusters are all about advertising. Okay, your merch, your magazine covers, talk show appearances, trailers, ads, your corporate tie-ins, fast food restaurants. You go to McDonald's, they have like pictures of Avengers on a cupboard, and they have like games. Or they have the Happy Meal, and you go Entertainment Weekly has a magazine cover of them. They go on the Tonight Show, and all this is all big business, drum up all this extra money besides just the movie itself. Right? And the film industry is ran by 4 studios, actually 3 now because Disney just recently acquired 20th Century Fox. So really, Disney, Paramount, and Warner Brothers owns it all. The entire movie industry. As 20th Century Fox now is subsidy of Disney. So different genres of films. You have the Western, romantic comedy, sci-fi, fantasy, documentaries, biopics. Biopics are about someone's life, like Lincoln. Documentary, just real life footage, putting the story, what's going on, like Making a Murderer on Netflix. Fantasies, your Lord of the Rings, sci-fi, Star Wars, romantic comedies, your Fault in Our Stars, your Western, Django Unchained, or any John Wayne film. Rating system. Well, the rating system essentially protects the film industry. It's your responsibility. You took your kids to our movie. It's not our fault. We told you it's R. We told you it's bad. You shouldn't take a kid to it, but you did anyway. So it's on you. And so it really puts responsibility to the viewers. So it's not really required, but everybody does it anyways. And so in 1990, he actually started listing why it's rated that way. Crude humor, intense violence, nudity, drug use, language. Why is it rated R? Why is it rated PG-13? And so here's your general G, PG, PG-13, R, NC-17. These are your different film ratings. Many teenagers learn about romance from the movies, especially your. I can think of the guy's name now. The the romance writer, the Notebook, and all of them. And so many teachers. Many teenagers actually learn about romance from the movies. The romance comes quickly, sort of setback. Then a couple reunites and they all fall in love again and all's forgiven and they live happily ever after. Like a lot of your rom-coms are that way. And romantic comedies give us an unrealistic view of love. And that's what a lot of people view love as. It has to be like the movies, but it's really not. And we can enjoy movies as responsible entertainment by being aware that films, even those based on true story, are actually fiction. There's a lot of fictional parts for the narrative, for the story, help move it along and whatnot. And movies are big business. They make a lot of money, especially blockbusters in the summertime. Right? Movies are created to entertain and to entice us to spend money. Okay, movie theaters don't make money off of the movies. They make money off the concessions. That's why there's concessions so high. But popcorn and candy and stuff so high in the movie theater, because that's where they make their money. Not off ticket sales, but actual the concessions. I discussed questions for films. When has a movie affected you emotionally? Notice how trailers make every movie look fantastic. How and why do they do that? How does music affect your mood? Check out Frozen as a horror movie. It's a pretty cool trailer as if Frozen was a horror movie. Link in the description below. Star Wars without the music. How would Star Wars be without John Williams' wonderful uh, music in the background? Check out that link in the description below. And does movie rating system need improvement? Why not? And which movie character represents you? And are there movies that distort history? If so, why do they do that? Until next time, see you guys.